Welcome to Audley End. This is a short video for those of you who are unfamiliar with the building to show you its potential as a youth centre. There's been a building on this site since 1251. The present building dates back to the early 17th century. As we walk around showing you various parts of the building, I will add a short commentary where appropriate. We are about to enter one of the two courtyards that are separated by a centre block of buildings, one being the chapel, common room, dining room and kitchen. This is the archway which we've just come through. It will now become the main entrance to this courtyard and the centre. The doorways that you see in this courtyard were entrances into small apartments which until the middle of 1991 were used as retirement homes by clergy. Flats 1 and 2 will now be converted into accommodation for the warden and his family. Flats 3, 4 and 5 will become lecture room accommodation and toilet facilities. This room will be the kitchen in the warden's accommodation, but is typical of those rooms in the centre that will be used as dormitories and bedrooms. Each of the rooms has its own bathroom and kitchenette. This has made it easier for us to provide toilet facilities and shower facilities in the new scheme. At the other side of the arch, the entrance leads to a small office. This office will now become the centre of administration for the Diocesan Youth Service and St Mark's. We are now in the centre block and standing in the dining room, which features an inglenook fireplace, the surround of which is thought to have come from alterations at Audley End House. The dining room will easily accommodate 40 people. As we leave the dining room, we walk through a hallway towards the common room. Part of this hallway will be converted into a specially equipped toilet for disabled young people. The common room will be comfortably furnished and will have a wood-burning stove, TV, video and music centre. From the common room, there is a door that at present leads directly into the chapel. In the new scheme, this door will lead into a small corridor and hallway, which will have a stained glass screen leading into the chapel. The chapel suffered the same fate as most of the rest of the buildings here and fell into disrepair. Many of the buildings were used as barns for storage of hay and corn. The chapel was rebuilt in the early 1950s and was dedicated by the Bishop of Chelmsford on the 28th of September 1951. In the early part of the 1960s, a landing and staircase was added to the chapel. This was to provide means of escape in case of fire for those who were living in the accommodation above the common room. This accommodation will now be converted into a dormitory. We're now standing in the second courtyard, looking at the main block which separates the courtyards, the dining room, the hall and the common room, with the windows to the dormitories above, leading on to the chapel. Flat 6 is a large single-roomed apartment and will be specially converted to accommodate 2 disabled young people with the appropriate facilities. Flats 7, 8, 9 and 10 are 2-roomed apartments and will be converted into small dormitories. It's been discovered that there is a boarded floor above these dormitories, and it is planned in phase 2 of the scheme to reinstate the dormer windows in the roof, thereby providing extra accommodation. The centre will accommodate 40 young people and 5 leaders, or could become an adult field centre accommodating 30 adults in single. On the west side of this second courtyard is an entrance to the kitchen, and in the new scheme there will also be a new staircase leading up to the assistant warden's accommodation. The conversion of these buildings is not going to be without its problems. Flats 9 and 10 have already had their floors removed on the instructions of the diocesan surveyor because they were found to be rotten. Having said that, all those involved in the project so far, English Heritage, the planning authorities, our own architect, are confident that this will be a successful project. I hope you found this short video presentation helpful. Unfortunately, no film could ever capture the magical atmosphere of this building, but I hope it's enabled you to share in our vision for the College of St Mark's, Audley End.